And last but not least, I would like to yield the floor to His Excellency, the Secretary General of BISMUN 2012 Conference, Mr. Alexandru Volacu, to deliver the final speech of the opening ceremony. And also, I would like to announce to everybody that after the opening ceremony, we would like to invite you to a gondola on the hallway outside. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellencies, Mr. Secretary of State, distinguished professors, dear participants and colleagues. On behalf of the Secretariat, it is my profound honor to welcome you all to the 4th edition of Bucharest International Student Model United Nations, an annual, the largest MUN organized in Romania. A Model United Nations is one of the most important instruments which we have today in youth activities to promote UN values, to promote international relations. During the 6 days of the conference, you will act as delegates, you will simulate committees, you will negotiate, you will debate, you will draft resolutions and you will vote upon them. You will be engaged in each and every activity which delegate normally does in a United Nations committee. This will improve your skills tremendously, your debate skills, your professional as well as personal developments will be significant. But the question which I would like to address to you is actually a rhetorical one, and it is, why did you come here? Because you couldn't have known all of this. You probably just saw our website, saw one site, saw one MUN, but it would have been impossible for you to actually fully understand everything which is going on here. And I do trust, and I know for certain that you have not come here for the social events alone, so it is definitely something much bigger than that. It is something which drew all of us to our first MUNs, myself, my colleagues, the chairpersons who are here in the second row. And this common interest is an interest in the issues of the present day, an interest in international relations and international developments. And our fundamental purpose here is, through this, is definitely knowledge. But as we accumulate knowledge, we also develop a capacity to understand problems and to understand the issues of the present day. We look at, to the international agenda, and sometimes we can see that there is something fundamentally wrong with it. We can see that wars still exist, we can see that poverty exists, we can see that children are dying in Somalia and Sudan and other countries every day because of famine and because of poor health conditions. We can see that regimes still oppress their population, and we see that sometimes no one is doing anything about it. And as the tide turns, we see that if our purpose here is knowledge, in the international relations scene, sometimes the purpose is power. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said that all things are subject to interpretation, and in interpreting things, in general, what prevails is not objective truth, but a function of power. Looking deeper than this immediate conjecture, we see that basically something is similar between our purposes and their purposes, and that is in fact something which Anthony Downs called the axiom of individual interest. We seek to maximize our interest. Our interest today is knowledge, their interest is power. But let us be frank with ourselves and realize that our time will someday come. Will we then also fall prey to the same power maximization as some diplomats in the international scene are doing, some leaders? especially in the third world countries, are doing, or will we enforce the values which we support today when we will be in those leadership positions? Peace building, the alleviation of poverty, an end to oppressive regimes, and equality of fair opportunity. This should be our goals, and I think that we can find some basis where we consensually agree upon these values. As the fog slowly lifts, we see that now we have some core values around us, which unite us and which bring us together. But we also need something more than that. We need a method, an instrument, maybe something which we in an area would call a procedure. We can see that we have our own interests as human beings. States have their own interests. But we should always strive to find a common ground. Let us then introduce and respect a criterion of reciprocity, something used by John Rawls in his theory of public reason. Let us not do to our colleagues, to our fellow delegates, to other states, something which will not accept them to do to us. And we should use this criterion, first of all, not because it is useful, because we will gain advantages by this, but first and foremost because it is just. In the end, I would like to say just a few more words. Brick by brick, let us join together and construct such a future, as I've previously described, a better future. One where we can look each other in the eyes and say, yes, we have not failed. We stood firm with our values, and against all odds, we managed to succeed. Today, we are only playing the roles of diplomats. Tomorrow, our decisions may influence thousands or even millions of lives. Tomorrow and the future is yours and ours. Today, we must decide. Thank you. And in my capacity as Secretary General, I proclaim the 4th edition of BISMUN International Student Month of the United Nations officially open.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And now, honorable delegates, please be seated so our distinguished guests will move forward. And then afterward, all together, we can go. I would like to invite you all to go to the Banc d'Honneur, which will take place on the hallway of Constantin Stera and Abraham Hall. We will have guides to guide you. Thank you very much, and let's proceed.